Hi, this is Sarah Mikesell with the Pig Site, and today we're here with Dr. Dave Pyburn. He is a technical veterinarian with Zoetis. Thanks for being with us today, Dave.
Thanks for having me, Sarah.
Very good. And today, Dave and I are at the World Pork Expo in Des Moines, Iowa, in the United States. So thanks again, Dave, for your time. And finishing pig mortality has been trending upward. What do you see contributing to this trend?
Yeah, I think it's a number of things, but the first thing we have to mention is our old nemesis, PRRS.
Right.
PRRS, we know that it's evolving. It's evolving into a virus that is more severe, more longer lasting on farms. I think that's really causing this uptick at a base level in grow-finish pigs. So we have to deal with the PRRS. On top of that, though, we've got mycoplasma. In some of these barns, we've got flu. And then in almost all of them, you got your secondary bacteria, and that's all contributing to drag that pig down, lift that mortality up. And unfortunately, you're right. We are seeing mortality raise in these barns.
Got it. What approaches exist for producers to deal with this challenge?
You know, I think the first thing, and not necessarily an approach, but I think we need to get back to stopping and looking at pigs. Actually walk into that barn, take time, and this is something we do with our Zoetis Day 1 Pig Care training, but actually walk into that barn, take time to listen to that barn, look at that barn, what it's doing before you stir it up, then go ahead, get into pens with pigs, start stirring pigs up, see how they react to you, see who's hanging in the back of that pen, who looks depressed, who's thumping. We really are, I think we can do a lot better now at looking for that acutely ill pig and getting that pig found and treated early in the disease progression. Granted, we're not going to treat the viruses. We're not treating PRRS, we're not treating flu, but we're treating for those secondaries so that the pig's body itself, the immune system, then can concentrate on fighting off that PRRS, fighting off that flu if it's there as well.
Right. It's looking for anything that's out of the ordinary, right?
It is. It's. You need to know the signs. You need to know what a sick pig looks like early on. We're really good at finding chronically sick pigs or subchronics. You know, that's pretty easy. We can pick those out when they're 10 pounds lighter than their pig mates. They're showing their spine. You know, ears are down. We need to look for those early signs, those signs where he or she, that pig, is not wanting to be part of the population, is not getting up to eat, hanging its head, maybe standing weird, definitely thumping. Those are the pigs you got to find now, and we got to get those treated.
Very good, excellent. So, what key considerations do producers need to keep top of mind to manage respiratory disease?
I think a key consideration is we need to attack this from both front and back, and what I mean by that is let's use vaccines to prevent as much of it as we can, whether that's Fostera PRRS or whether that's our FluSure vaccine. Let's get that into the pigs or into the sows at the right times. And then on the back end, when we do have pigs to treat, let's treat them with the right antibiotic. Let's do it with diagnostics, which Zoetis can help with. And then let's make sure we've got an antibiotic that is going to be efficacious against those secondary bacterials that we're fighting, something like Exceed or Draxxin.
Right. So front end and back end really is important to be preventive and then attack it when you need to.
Yep, you have to work it from both sides. You really do. You can't just rely on vaccines because you're still going to have some sick pigs to treat. Sometimes vaccines get overwhelmed by the level of bugs in the barn, and there's going to be illness. But you also can't just wait and not use vaccines and treat pigs because then you've got an immune system that is going to be naive to those, whatever it is, the bacteria, the virus that's attacking it, and the pig's going to have a harder time to overcome that even with antibiotic treatment.
Very good. How does Zoetis support producers through this challenge?
Yeah, and I think that it's something that I really am proud of what we do at Zoetis, and I like going out and doing it as a technical veterinarian, so I'm hoping they call me and ask me to come do it. Is I want to come and I want to do a couple of things. One is I want to get in your barns, I want to talk with your production folks, I want to point out to them what an acutely ill pig looks like. Let's take a look at the paint marks in those barns for the pigs that are being treated, and let's see if they're catching those acute pigs, or are we just treating chronic pigs. We'll talk about what the right treatment might be, and then also Zoetis has a program called Stomp Plus, where we do diagnostics on the farm. So we'll do complementary diagnostics for them. I'll post pigs, I'll take samples, I'll get them into the lab, we'll get the results back, and then we'll set up the plan for how we're going to deal with that respiratory disease in those barns.
Very good. And just on top of that, I just a separate question that's not on my list is that monitoring component you were talking about, Dave, with diagnostics. It just seems like that's so important to be
Know
what's going on in your barn from a disease standpoint. That's got to be a critical factor here.
You absolutely cannot skip it. I was just talking with my intern actually yesterday, and I told her any chance you have where you have a chance to post our necropsy pigs, let's be cutting pigs, because you're going to learn something. Every time you cut into that pig, you're going to learn something for yourself as far as disease, what it looks like, what the clinical signs and lesions can look like, but you're also going to learn about what's going on in that barn. And that's absolutely true. Diagnostics is how we can figure out the right approach.
Very good. And where can viewers go to learn more?
So several places, one of which they can give me a call or any of their technical veterinarians at Zoetis. If not, if you're more familiar with your sales rep, talk to your sales rep and they can connect you with us. Or you can go to Zoetis.com, and on there you can also sign up for Pig Health Monthly and stay connected with us on a monthly basis.
Very good. Great. Thanks so much, Dave, for all the information.
Thanks, Sarah.
This is Sarah Mikesell with the Pig Site.